for joining us. It's important that we and our pets enjoy the warm weather while we still have it. But pet owners should be aware of the potential harms and threats of excessive heat that it may pose. And how to avoid it? Well, we have Dr. Lori here to tell us all we need to know. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Like I said, off camera, you're such an esteemed veterinarian. Just want to say that off rip. You're the president of the AVMA. You've been in this industry for 32 years, so well esteemed.
Thank you.
So how can you tell that our pets get too hot?
A lot of signs. Well, first, let's just say that pets are much more sensitive to the heat than we are, and they don't have ways to cool down as efficiently as we do. So when you're outside with them, be aware of some certain things like excessive panting, more than you would usually expect, drooling. If it progresses, you may start seeing vomiting and diarrhea. They may become incoherent and non-responsive. They may start staggering when they're walking, and eventually they may just collapse and not be able to move at all. And those are signs that heat stroke is setting in, and you're going to need immediate intervention by your veterinarian.
Perfect. So what are some of the intervention methods?
So the best thing that you can do if you suspect that's what's happening with your pet is get some towels or rags, run them under cool water, not cold or ice water, and wrap your pet up in those. That will help start the process of lowering your pet's body temperature, and then get straight to your veterinarian. Supportive care is going to be required, intravenous fluids, monitoring internal organ function. Brain damage can be going on, liver damage can be going on, kidney damage, and we want to do everything we can to stop that and try to reverse anything before it's too late.
So is overheating and heat stroke two different symptoms and signs that we need to look for?
So it's all on a spectrum, and they can start to get overheated. So if you're out walking and you start seeing your pet slowing down, panting a little bit, take a few moments, rest, give your pet water. Always make sure your pet has an adequate supply of clean water, and see if things start to slow down and become normal. If those don't resolve and your pet seems to get worse, then you need to be prepared that your pet may be suffering from heat exhaustion or heat stroke, again, all on the spectrum, and get in touch with your veterinarian.
Awesome, Dr. Lori. These are amazing points that you're making. Lastly, when we're on our last minute vacation, how do we know what to bring along for our pets when they're in the car or out there on the road?
So the big things you want to do when you're traveling with your pet, make sure you have your pet's food packed with you. A lot of places you may get to, they're not going to have the food your pet is used to. And for some, that can cause dietary upset when you suddenly switch their food. Have some fresh water. Take the bowls that they're used to eating and drinking out of, perhaps their favorite bed or blanket, a toy that gives them extra comfort. Always make sure they have some kind of permanent ID. So, of course, a collar and tags, but ideally also a microchip. And make sure your microchip information is up to date in the database. God forbid your pet get loose, but if it gets picked up, you don't want them trying to call the wrong phone number to reunite you. And of course, bring a proof of rabies vaccinations, other health records that may be needed, and the full course of medications if your pet is on any while you will be traveling.
Amazing. So curiosity killed the cat, but I have a curious question. Does
Sure.
pets get sunburn?
It can. A lot of people don't think about that, but some of our hairless pets, animals that have a very light fur or a light color, even our more heavily furred pets, if they roll over and their belly is exposed to the sun, those are all sensitive areas. And if your pet's going to be exposed, it would be a good idea to get a pet safe sunscreen, and most reputable pet stores will carry those. Use those on the areas that are not as well covered in fur. And then, of course, try to avoid peak sun hours, the 10 to 2, just like they tell us to avoid as well. Don't use human sunscreen. If you use that and your pet licks it, some of those do contain toxic ingredients in it.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Dr. Lori Teller. It's been an amazing, advice-worthy segment. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So up next, John David Burdahl is here, and we're going to have a fun time with some clay here on North Dakota Today.